Welcome into AZ Audibles. I'm Haley Stasiak alongside Eric Sorensen and Jordan Ham. This week, we've got all eyes on Chaparral. They've got a new offensive coordinator in Chris Heavner, and quarterback Jack Miller transferred from Scottsdale Christian over to Chaparral to be a Firebird. Now, what do these two new additions mean for this Firebird offense?
Well, obviously, it's a big upgrade. I mean, Chaparral is getting their quarterback play struggled last year, getting a young rising star in Jack Miller, and also Chris Heavner, who is over at Horizon. I've seen him coach. He likes the up-tempo style offense. And one thing to watch, although Chaparral was down last year, they were still pretty decent in the region. It's going to be Notre Dame Prep, it's going to be Chaparral, but still plenty of playmakers for the Firebirds next season.
Jordan, what are your thoughts on this new offense?
I love both additions, and with Jack Miller, you have to realize why he's transferring out of SCA. He said that, actually we did a story on this, that a family friend had got hit by a car and passed away while he was playing a game, and he was having a tough time processing that. So if that is really the case, I hope that he finds peace in his new home and kind of a fresh start. But if we're looking strictly at a football perspective, Jack Miller is going to be a huge addition for this offense. Like Eric said, you have Tommy Christokis, who's a sophomore wide receiver. Jason Jewell has compared him to Mark Andrews. That's a pretty big claim, but from a guy like Jason, I trust that claim. I think he could be a pretty special receiver. And then Marquis Johnson as a running back, he is just the home run hitter that you've seen out of Chaparral over the past few years, the Kyle Williams, Devontae Neal types. And he's also a great guy that can catch the ball out of the backfield as well. So this revamped Chaparral offense could be something special over the next few years, because you have Miller and Christokis, who are both incoming sophomores, and Johnson is a junior.
Now, with the new kind of up-tempo that Heavner can bring, what did he do at Horizon as a head coach that you think will trickle into this offense?
He got the most out of his players. I mean, he was able to work with Dalton Snead for a year, the former UNLV quarterback, and just having the system with the players, he's going to get that at Chaparral. Like you said, plenty of playmakers, as Jordan alluded to, and I just think this is going to be a bounce-back year for the Firebirds.
The Army All-American Bowl just wrapped up this past weekend. Jordan, you were down in San Antonio. What was the overall takeaway you got from down there?
Well, I think the most impressive thing that I saw was Austin Jackson, the North Canyon offensive tackle, #1 player in the state. Seen him go up against some of the best defensive ends and defensive players and really hold his own. This was a historically good offensive line that this West team had. Foster Serrell, Walker Little, both of them are heading to Stanford, and these are our top flight recruits, and Jackson definitely held his own. So that was very impressive. It was similar. I got to see Isaiah pull him out at the opening this past summer, where with those national, top flight guys, and you don't realize how good these guys are until you put them up against the best of the best, and I think Jackson certainly delivered.
You saw 4 Arizona players, as well as Jason Mons, who's doing big things over there at Saguaro. I just think the more Arizona grows as a state, it's also going to grow as a football state. In the future, you're going to see more of these kids getting the national headlines, because the big schools are already coming into Arizona, and there's no need with the expansion of population to see that stopping anytime soon.
Now, on the coaching carousel, Mike Olson resigned from Coronado this week. So what's the news on that?
Olson did a good job at Coronado. It was always an issue with numbers for him. Coronado does not have a big population. They had skilled players. They had a really good quarterback in Jay Vanderjack. But it just comes down to depth, and that's something that's always haunted the Dons. And whoever takes that head coaching spot is going to have the same problem Olson did.
That's what we've got for you this week on AZ Audibles. Eric Sorensen, Jordan Ham, and I'm Haley Stasiak. We'll see you next week.